In a small, secluded town nestled deep within a dense forest, there was a legend that sent shivers down the spines of its inhabitants. It was known as the Whispers in the Dark. As the story goes, once every decade, a series of eerie, incomprehensible whispers would emanate from the heart of the forest. These whispers were said to carry with them an otherworldly presence, a malevolent force that seemed to feed on fear and curiosity. The townsfolk had always heeded the warnings passed down through generations, never daring to venture near the forest during these ominous nights. But one curious soul, a young man named Ethan, couldn't resist the lure of the legend. He believed that the whispers were nothing more than a hoax, a tale spun to frighten children. One moonless night, Ethan decided to prove everyone wrong. Armed with a flashlight and his unyielding skepticism, he ventured into the woods. The air grew colder, and the dense canopy above blocked out the faintest glimmer of starlight. Deeper and deeper he went, the forest closing in around him like a suffocating blanket. Hours passed, and he began to doubt his decision. Just when he contemplated turning back, the first whisper reached his ears. It was a soft, chilling murmur that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. Ethan's heart raced as he continued forward, determined to unravel the mystery. The whispers grew louder and more distinct, but their words remained incomprehensible. It was as if the forest itself was conspiring to keep its secrets hidden. Suddenly, the ground beneath him trembled, and he stumbled upon an ancient, overgrown cemetery. Tombstones, moss-covered and forgotten, stood like silent sentinels. The whispers seemed to converge upon this eerie place, growing more menacing by the second. As Ethan approached a particularly weathered gravestone, the whispers transformed into a chilling chant, their meaning slowly becoming clear. He who seeks the truth shall become the vessel. It was a warning, a plea, and a curse all rolled into one. Terrified, Ethan tried to flee, but an invisible force held him in place. Shadows danced around him, and the whispers grew louder, echoing in his mind. The malevolent force that had lurked in the forest for centuries was now a part of him. Ethan's hair turned white, and his eyes lost their light. He had become the vessel for the ancient malevolence, forever bound to the whispers in the dark. His disappearance served as a grim reminder to the townsfolk, who now never ventured anywhere near the haunted woods. And so the whispers in the dark lived on, a tale of caution and horror, a testament to the dangers of curiosity and the power of legends that should never be challenged. In the quiet town of Willowbrook, nestled among the whispering pines, there stood a house at the end of Elm Street. Its windows were perpetually shrouded in darkness, and the weeds in the yard grew taller than the picket fence. The townsfolk whispered of the strange family that lived there, but none dared to approach, for they knew the sinister secret that dwelled within. The house had once been home to the Thornton family, a loving couple, Samuel and Eleanor, and their son, Michael. Tragedy had befallen the Thorntons when a terrible car accident claimed the lives of Samuel and Eleanor, leaving young Michael an orphan. Yet Michael survived the crash, or so it seemed. The neighboring residents soon noticed something peculiar. They could hear faint, mournful whispers emanating from the house. Lights flickered at odd hours, and the curtains danced as if moved by unseen hands. But the most unsettling of all was the appearance of Samuel and Eleanor, now deceased, who were often glimpsed through the windows. As the years passed, the town became consumed by fear and curiosity. The legend of the dead man living next to them grew, and people began to wonder if Michael had unlocked some unholy secret to bring his parents back from the grave. The town's priest, Father O'Malley, decided it was time to intervene. Armed with a Bible and holy water, he bravely approached the house. The door creaked open on its own, and a cold wind sent shivers down his spine as he stepped inside. Inside, the air was thick with an otherworldly chill, and the whispers grew louder. Father O'Malley followed the eerie sounds through the dark, labyrinthine corridors until he reached a room bathed in an eerie green light. There he saw Michael, or what was left of him. Michael stood at the center of a ghastly pentagram, surrounded by candles, and clutching a tattered book of forbidden knowledge. His eyes, devoid of life, met Father O'Malley's. He spoke in a voice that sent a shiver down the priest's spine. "They never left me, Father. I couldn't bear to be without them." With those words, Samuel and Eleanor materialized, their grotesque, rotting forms reaching out to embrace their son. Father O'Malley began to chant prayers and sprinkled holy water, but the spirits hissed and recoiled in pain. In a final act of defiance, Michael, consumed by grief and madness, chanted an incantation that sent a shockwave of darkness through the house. The walls groaned, the windows shattered, and the spirits of Samuel and Eleanor were torn apart, vanishing into the void. The house on Elm Street stood silent and empty once more. Michael was never seen again, and the townsfolk could finally breathe a sigh of relief. But the memory of the dead man living next to them would haunt their dreams for years to come, a chilling reminder of the price one might pay for trying to cheat death. And so the house on Elm Street remained, a dark and foreboding relic of a terrible secret, waiting for the next curious soul to unlock its malevolent mysteries.